So after watching a sad film, I was like, I need something happy, something fun. So I, in my rashness, picked Christmas as usual. All right, it is the new film from Petter Holmsen, who wrote and directed it. All right, it is produced by Espen Horn, Jenny Victor Jarman, and Kirsten Strand Synkhund. It is executive produced by Harold Zwart, Zelmai Rud Zwart, Teraj Stormstad, Epson Sandberg, and Yabba Hulst. Matthew Weston handled cinematography, Marie Nezet, costume design. Hair and makeup, we have Marie Bonjes Harmansen, Live Becca Kundensen, Emina Malmargin, and Ingrid Opdal. Our cast, we have got Thea, played by Ida Ursin-Holm, Jashan, played by Kanan Gill, Anna Lisa, played by Marit Adeleide, Jorgen, played by Mads Sugord Pettersson, Simon, played by Erik Follestad, Ronja, played by Nora Harriet, and Matilde Hovdegard. Hildegun, played by Veslemøy Mørkrid. And the taxi driver is Jonas Strand Gravil. Okay, so the gist of the film is Thea is going back to her rural hometown in order to celebrate a classic Norwegian Christmas with her family. But this year she is bringing along Jashan, her Indian boyfriend. What was supposed to be Christmas as usual turns into a tumultuous and heartwarming festive period that will put everyone's preconceived beliefs and traditions on their heads. Okay. Right. I myself wouldn't say it's heartwarming. And the preconceived beliefs and traditions, no. Right? If you're a weirdo, if you're a bigot, right? I mean, that's the only way you're coming into this with the preconceived notions, right? I don't know, everything seems like conversations would have just had everyone on the right foot. And it's just it's just odd, right? That they weren't had, you know? So we start off and we've got Thea walking down the street talking to her mum about, oh, she's looking forward to Christmas, and like, oh, is it snowing over there? And it's just like, it's Norway, it's December, so there's gonna be snow. You know what I mean? Like, if there was no snow, it would be on the news. It'd be like, oh my god, breaking news, all the snow in Norway melted. Global warming is real. You know what I mean? You'd get something. So it was a kind of a dumb conversation they're having. But she gets home, and Jasan, who she's calling Jason to her parent, her mum, and whatnot, he has got a big surprise planned. and he proposes. Now, all of that, I mean, the response is weird to that, but it's all, so they go back home. She asks him, come back to mine for Christmas. And he's like, yes, I will. But she hasn't told her family that he's Indian. Now, I don't think that, you date someone and when you're talking about them, but just a heads up, right? They're Indian, they're Latino, they're Chinese, they're, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you have to do that. But, right, there would have been like what do they look like? Do you have a picture? Describe them. There would have been that. Like, it's trying to, you know, say that no one asked what they look like. Be like, are they tall? What color hair? What kind? You know what I mean? There would have been those questions. So that whole we had no clue is weird, right? And just I think, like, there's a thing about her dad that you're just like, wait, that how was that not discussed? Because it's just like Jashan acts like, oh, he didn't know. And it's just like, wait, how long have you guys been dating? Because they're like, oh, I know it's soon, but when you say soon, it's not gonna be after a month, 2 months, 3 months, right? So you're thinking there's been enough time for certain conversations, because these are the conversations that you have to get to know someone. So it's not even like, wait, how did you not tell me your third cousin removed on the left's name? You know what I mean? It's nothing like crazy like that. It's just, this is like, it's an important conversation. You'd have thought it'd have come up, but supposedly it didn't, right? It's just the things about food. You have conversations about what kind of food you like. Oh, how spicy do you like your food? Simple things like that, right? Simple thing. Because it'd be like, oh, you like spicy food? Yeah, I love spicy food. Ah, awesome. Oh, what about your family? Are they like, that's just in an everyday kind of thing? Be like, yo, is this the kind of thing, this level of spice that was cooked at home? Be like, nah, man, my family don't like spice. You know what I mean? There would have been these things, right? So a lot of the stuff that came up, you just be like, really? You're really telling us that that was never discussed, that was never done? It's baffling. Supposedly this is based on a true story, and you just think, if that was someone's experience, I don't think that would last, right? I've gone to in-laws, right, where it's been like, man, I had this girl I was seeing, well, the 2 times, right? One, and her friends were racist as fuck. They would not even, you know, look at me. They wouldn't, ask me a question. They wouldn't act like I was even in the fucking room. But we drove there, so there's no way for me to leave on my own, right? And I'm just like, yo, your friends are fucking rude. And he's like, is it, it's weird excuses. That shit didn't, that, as soon as we got back, that was over. You know what I mean? There was another time, this other chick, like, there were gollywogs in the house, and her aunt was just like, oh, if you have a kid, you could call it a name with a K, and you'd be the KKK. And I'm just looking at this woman like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? Right? I said something to the chick. Like, when it's funky, you say something. And if the person you're with isn't calling this shit out, they ain't the right, you know what I mean? They're not the right one, yo. So the fact, like, there's a racist dog, you know what I mean? Like, it's very bizarre. It's bizarre. And then it's just that weird notion of, right, everyone acts off key. And then someone says this one thing, and then everyone's just like, oh my God, yeah, we acted horribly, and do a complete 180. And you're just like, firstly, that never happens, right? Secondly, how could I ever trust you if A, you don't even know what you're doing is fuckeries, and then B, you just pivot like that, right? I don't believe that's insincerity. You know what I mean? So it just makes no sense. These type of films make no sense to me. You know, it follows the whole Christmas. It follows the whole Christmas deal, right? The way those films run, right? But I'm just like, we need to move away from this format because it's ludicrous, right? It's so dishonest. We need to stop it. It's you know, there's just so many things that go down that, you know, you're just like, wait, you don't know that he can't ski, right? You don't know that this is this or that is that. It's just like, so you guys never talk. That's what you're telling. You guys never talk. You should not be married. You know what I mean? There's a weird thing in the airport that you're just like, okay, Shorty ain't even moving that fast. So if what you're saying is the deal, there's no way they'd be in that spot. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm baffled by this film, right? It did stop me from being sad, but it just made me frustrated. That's what this did. Made me frustrated, people. Boy. But as I said, look, it hits all those Christmas notes. So if you like stuff like Holiday, I Hate Christmas, Best Christmas Ever, Dashing Through the Snow, if those films made you happy, then Christmas as Usual will work for you. You know, it didn't work for me, but I am not the target audience. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you like those Christmas films, you will be fine with this. So, go onto Netflix and have yourself a fun filled 95 minutes.